taken away from you, that is breaking your heart, the Lord is bringing it back in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. For the Lord has spoken, and it cannot be reversed. In the name of Jesus Christ. The joy that has been stolen from you is returning in abundance in the name of Jesus Christ. And the power is tenure expired. Now God's tenure has begun. It has begun in your life. And the call of God must come to fruition, whether the devil likes it or not. Amen. It must come to fruition. Amen. The call of God. Amen. The call of God. Amen. Did anybody tell you about the call of God? Okay, you are hearing it from me. The call of God will not be a failure in your life. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All those powers that attack, they are attacking something that is a seed of God in you. Amen. They shall not kill it. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. For the power of God shall preserve it. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. And by reason of this deliverance, enter into your destiny. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Now let there be an anointing for that to happen in your life. In Jesus' name. Amen.
My fellow Ambazonians, as they take a token for Ambazonia and for Africa, say Happy New Month. Happy New Month for all now. I don't come today so now for some very special time, because I talk most of the time now when it be very important. I be when I brother Lucas Aso, when I the press secretary for the executive office for Ambazonia Governing Council. Over the last 4 or 5 days, Ambazonia they don't shake. Ambazonia they don't shake day for some Ambazonia there about what did happen for America. Say for America. PS. What did happen for America? PS. Tell me what did happen for America? Now what in the American government be about? We don't hear say they don't arrest some Ambazonia for America. We don't hear say now people they would be support the struggle. PS we don't hear say at the same time with the arrest some Ambazonian from America. At the same time, Emmanuel Macron don't go for America. Now, what will be the conspiracy between America and France against Ambazonia? Well, I be the person where you don't give una the highest level of, we don't always provide una with clarity. Whenever una get confusion, we don't provide una inspiration whenever una be in doubts. And we don't provide una education, the finest education, whenever una don't be full of toxicity. Today again, I don't come for can give una a sense of calmness. I don't come for assure una. I don't come for reassure una. I don't come for clear up the air about maybe the misunderstanding we wanna get them, the misinformation we wanna get them, and for giving a proper context and a perspective and how this reflect the Ambazonian people, their liberation struggle. What the thing they wanna don't hear them for say that they come off America, not true. What you don't hear them say American law enforcement, they laws them for the police them for America, all the instruments of the United States government where they protect law and society. What you don't hear and say some 3 Ambazonians, they don't be indicted, that means they don't charge them in connection with criminality for Amazon for inside America. Not true. In connection with some events on the ground. Not true. What you don't hear them say the house of the one from the BLM, the one we get big mob like Isa Chiroma, the one we be they call himself say the one with 4 weeks ago, he declared say he be number 5 president of the IG. no, he not be number 5 president of the IG, he be number 5 president of Ambazonians. The one from the BLM, Chris Anu, we come out can't declare own government. The one we don't hear them say the American law enforcement agents, they will go for a house, for go raid the house. He says, he don't talk, I'm saying that true. Chris Anu don't make audio. He acknowledge him. Say Monday we just passed 5 days ago. For early sharp morning, law enforcement agents and for America, they go for a house with a search warrant. That means say they take document where they go take them from the United for court for the state where they live there for Texas. They take that document, they knock it door, boom. They show saying that document this where court don't give order for the law enforcement officers for inside the state of Texas for search Christian house, a search warrant. He acknowledge them. Wait till when I don't also hear them say Gary Boy, Eric Tato, or when I know it, Eric Tato, Gary Boy. When I don't say hear them that same day, that same early morning, when they raid Chris Anui house, that same time they also raid Eric Tato house. The question we all want to need for the asker. Now say, why the United States law enforcement officers for different states, Eric Tato, the state for the state of Maryland, around Washington, D.C. area, Chris Anu, the state for the state of Texas. How it be say, for the same day, for almost the same time, law enforcement for two different states, they go raid the house of 2 people them at the same time if there is no connection. If connection not be there, if not be there where it link Eric Tato and Chris Anu, how it be say at the same time on the same day for 2 different states, law enforcement agents, they go raid 2 different people their house for 2 separate states, for 2 separate locations, if they don't get anything where it connect them for a certain crime. How it be possible? Again, my name na Lucas Asu. I be the most dangerous educator from Ambazonian liberation struggle. I be the most dangerous educator from Ambazonian liberation. For most of the Ambazonian people, their lives, since they be occupied by La République du Cameroon, every time while people they rise up for demand for freedom, for demand for human dignity, for demand for just the basic right, the right for life. Profit people them way they want always profit for use the people they are paying. La République du Cameroon, they always chew them for front. They always inject them. Collaborators, they always inject them. For can't distract the people them. And then derail the people them. And then Cameroon will reward those people them. It don't always be the sad story of the Ambazonian people, their struggles. Every time our people they rise up, Cameroon will inject agents for can't distract the people them, destroy the people their aspiration, take the course, And then Cameroon reward those people them. And in most cases, Cameroon, they always integrate those people them within the central system. For most of our people them, for most of our people, their history, it always be the case. When for 2016, this generation of the never again generation, they rise up. For say this generation must put a permanent end to the suffering of the Ambazonian people them. A permanent end to Cameroon's tyranny on our people. A permanent end for Cameroon's occupation and exploitation of our people there. Cameroon quickly inject the same set of people we go use them for kill the aspirations of the Ambazonian people there. Agbobala, be at the head of the Ambazonian people, their protest for 2016. Bobga harmony. But Cameroon quickly know say Agbobala a very corrupt human being. Agbobala a very selfish human being. Agbobala no believe for the Ambazonian people their rights for self-determination and freedom. Agbobala believes na for the reform of the colonial state and therefore reintegrate the Ambazonian people them within the colonial state. Now, I believe system than that. And Cameroon understand that one. So Cameroon quickly push Bobga Harmony for back, take Agbobala, put him for front, as a person who will go talk with Agbobala and negotiate with Agbobala. Overnight, Bobga Harmony, Agbobala, Komodi and Fontainebleau, they go launch until they create consortium, make Agbobala the president of consortium and make Fontainebleau the secretary general. Cameroon quickly use the same people then, take them, put them for prison, for kill the consortium and stop any negotiation with the Ambazonian people then. 8 months later, Agbobala and Fontainebleau, they signed a conditional agreement with Cameroon colonial government, said they no go ever support anything will concern Ambazonia or anything will concern the separation of the state. And they agree for make Cameroon move them for prison. Said they no go ever advocate. Wait till Cameroon quickly do one. Cameroon quickly reward Agbobala, take Agbobala, an unknown lawyer, a person who no man will be knowing right up until that time. It not be very outspoken for the Ambazonian people, their struggle. It not be that eloquent and influential. Cameroon quickly take Agbobala, make Agbobala may become very popular, take an NGO where no man will be knowing, fund the NGO, take Agbobala, make Agbobala become the voice for the civil societies for inside Cameroon. It put Agbobala for all sort of international stage, for all conferences them across the globe, for Agbobala for become the mouthpiece for defend the reintegration of the Ambazonian people them within the state of Cameroon. Cameroon reward Agbobala with a mighty career and inject millions for Agbobala NGO for make Agbobala become very popular, derail the Ambazonian struggle and reward the agent. Same. Fontaine she not quiet. He plays marriage she don't quiet. Fontaine come out, come from America. Yes, Cameroon leave Fontaine. Yes, not only Cameroon fit leave you. Cameroon leave Fontaine neba, make it come out, he come from America. The very first thing when he come from America, before all we want to know, when I ask Eugene Ufoka, if he tell una, he start for talk for people like Eugene Ufoka, tell Comrade Eugene, say the international community don't send me all the diplomatic call for you, they don't send you Fontaine neba, make it come for you, for can rally all the leaders them, for tell the Ambazonian people say the international community want call for a referendum for Ambazonia. This one for 2018, late 2018, early 2019. All right? When I understand this one, they create a conference where they call and say SCLC. Now, Fontaine never a conference for say one bring Ambazonia together because he tell them say the international community they want call for a referendum. They create the LCLC. Now that LCLC They use them, it will be included by Ellie Smith. They make a conference, they bring people them, including Simon Munzo, leading to the conference. So now if you understand the game, why they want to bring Ambazonian them, for lie for them, for deceive them. At that same time, they don't pick up Ayoktabe Julius, they inject Samuel Sako into the struggle. Inject Eric Tato, take Eric Tato from ground zero. Eric Tato, now a person will be the make money for write good stories about CPDM. Eric Tato, he be now a journalist for Mamfe, he make money now for write good stories about CPDM party, CPDM parliamentarians, and CPDM senators. He used a newspaper now for build up the colonial elite so that when he write good stories about them, they pay you good money. Now so they take them for make their living. La République du Cameroon already know say that person get a track record for pay to play. They take it, send it for America. At the same time, with Cameroon, it inject Samuel Sako into the Ambazonian struggle. Into what did they call and say the IG. What did they do? As I already explained for now, I don't need to go into much detail. They create the IG now for derail the Ambazonian people their struggle. They create the IG so that self-defense on the ground will be strong. They create the IG just like they create the SCNC. That means say their own, not only for talk, say we want talk, and now we go for be for front. So when if you understand, when they bring in Sako, they bring in Eric Tato. Now Eric Tato introduced Sako to the Ambazonian people then. Now Eric Tato be champion my trip to Boya and be the spokesperson of my trip to Boya, and why people go for trust Sako, why they go for trust this new thing where they don't call and say the re-emergence of the second IG, and why people go for donate money. At that same time, Eric Tato, Sako, Chris Anu, and all the other one them, they launch a war against the nationalist movement, launch a war against Dr. Kwanga, and launch a war against Dr. Yabacho. The only two nationalist movement them, where they create command and control structure them, and where they invoke the right of self-defense of the Ambazonian people them. When I remember, when Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, he entered for ground zero, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, he not be ever invoke the right of self-defense for social media. He not stand for television, he not stand for Facebook, he not stand for Instagram, he not stand for Twitter, he not be for diaspora, for invoke the Ambazonian people their right for self-defense. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba enter for ground zero, stand for ground zero. Before you want to enter for ground zero, stand for ground zero. It will already mobilized thousands of Ambazonians from which will be the year. Dr. Cho Ayaba and the people of Ambazonia Governing Council, they be done rally and mobilize 7,000 Ambazonians and put them inside forest for training, for be ready for deployment before the liberation for start. It not doing for social media. It going for the ground. Invoke the people their right for self-defense on the ground. For stand up, for fight, for defend the dignity of the Ambazonian people them. For defend the lives of the Ambazonian people them. When I remember, Ayoktabe is standing for television, for diaspora, for talk say they declare restoration of independence. It declare what restoration of independence. How a country will be under occupation and you go stand for television and then you declare restoration of independence when that country is under occupation? When Dr. Ayaba declared the right of self-defense and launch self-defense and the armed struggle on the ground. Now the difference that between the Ambazonian Governing Council and the people that they only talk about. One go for the ground, immobilize forces, recruit forces, train forces, arm forces, and invoke the right for self-defense. The other one, she done for television, for abroad. And he talks to be president. Declare himself or herself president. Or they declare themselves president for abroad, for diaspora, for television. What can happen, I say, it make them, all these people them, where they no want self-defense. Now the same people them, they turn for use the Ambazonian struggle, they turn for use self-defense as a business on the ground, in order for give the self-defense approach on the ground a bad name. When I hear me fine, I introduce myself again. My name is Lucas Asu. I be the most dangerous person where it provide the most lethal political education for the Ambazonian people. When they invoke self-defense, the people that don't want self-defense, they start for use self-defense on the ground for criminal rings for the United States and other parts of the globe, for use the war on the ground as their money-making schemes. When I remember, the very first kidnapping for ransom will take place on Ground Zero. Now when they catch the colonial delegate for social affairs, I think they named Oliver Leke, if I'm not being mistaken, that Professor Leke, for Libya them by the Red Dragons, will be controlled by Field Marshal, the brother of Chris Anu. How much money they collect them? They collect 50 million. 50 million CFA. Where they collect them from the social welfare delegate. As they talk, as you don't hear, that man, Professor Leke, he did for USA, he did for America. So, if Professor Leke, they pick you up, he pay 50 million, he end up for America, who do the negotiation? Chris Anu. Directly do the negotiation for say, okay, if you pay this amount of money, they will release you. When I remember, after that one, the second incident for kidnapping for ransom, it take place for PSS Nkwen. During that time, Nasako talk say these boys are under county by county. The commander for that area, Alaji, they talk say be under their control. They quickly announce them. They show a face. Say Nayi, don't arrest the how they call them? The discipline masters, they call them. The discipline master for PSS Nkwen. Announce one of the teachers from Nkwen. And then they take the video, they send them for who? They take that video, they send them for Eric Tato. So if Eric Tato not be get any connection to the kidnapping, how Eric Tato go manage to get the video as the thing they happen? If Eric Tato not be get any connection to the kidnapping, how Eric Tato manage to get the video as it happen immediately? They give Eric Tato the video, he publish them immediately. How much money they collect them? So one school official and the person will be the work for the school. I think that one of the cleaning people that they work for the school with 4 students. How much they collect them? The first money will they taste them. Now 2,500,000 they collect them from the Presbyterian Church. When they taste the money, 4 or 5 days later, they go arrest 83 students with 2 teachers. They don't taste money. They don't want self-defense. But they don't use now self-defense for make money. It would be a bad idea for Ayaba for introduce self-defense for Ground Zero. But now they don't use self-defense for make money. Chris Anu and his brother Oliver and the Red Dragons, they collect 50 million from Professor Leke, Eric Tato, and the criminal gang. They launch kidnapping and they collect the first 2.5 million. they kidnap 83 students then with teachers. How much they collect them? The second money from which would year with the Presbyterian Church, it pay Eric Tato and the rest of the criminal gang now 10 million. Before we now know, no man, they not catch no fighter, they not show the location, they only can show a video them. Hey, una see them. The Cameroon beat them. They don't go rescue 83 students them. How you go do a rescue and then the perpetrators of the kidnapping, you not show their faces? I beg una reason with me, oh. Una just reason with me. Because truth is sweet. Yes? Truth, it is sweet. You go do a rescue mission. You go rescue some person. And then you just talk, say you don't rescue him. No nothing. No battle, nothing. No nothing. The location, you never even talk am. But you talk, say you don't go rescue 83 students them. How you go rescue 83 students them? You never even show the location where you go rescue them. But you don't go rescue them. And then they bring governor. They can't show them. How governor don't receive people picking them where they be, don't go rescue them. All these things and for use the Ambazonian liberation struggle, for tarnish the image, make some people they become very famous by the Cameroon colonial military intelligence, and then for use them for make money. What did it happen now? That money, as these forces that they make that money for ground zero, these people them, Eric Tato, Chris Anu, and the rest, they send them part of that money directly to the United States. Eric Tato come America. When I know here you say, when I don't hear say Eric Tato they go university for America. Yeah. No, when I know here. When I know hear anything say Eric Tato they go some university, don't go back to school for study, for reintegrate for the new society. Where did it? When I know hear anything. When I know here, the only thing when I hear, I say Eric Tato, maybe they do Uber. Now order when I hear. An Uber driver for America, you make now between $4,000 to $7,000 if you put plenty hours. You get for work minimum 12 to 15 hours a day for if you make $7,000 and then your gas expenses and all that kind of thing. So overnight, people they start get money. Now, may I ask you something? You be an immigrant, you just come, you ask for political asylum for the United States, you say you don't get money, and then the government is see the money where you earn them through what you do them. Then the one see them, that money now they go up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And that money they come for some kind way will be very suspicious. Okay. What did they do them? They start to put trail of evidence. They start to put red flags. The one see them, you be stay for some other person in a house. And then the one see them, you know, come out say you go rent some house. You know, come out. Oh, the one see them. Oh, the one here, the Cameroon parliamentarian don't come visit you. And then the one see during the period where the Cameroon parliamentarian they come visit you, your money will be there for your bank account. It don't grow. Your money will be there for bank account will be live by you live hand to mouth as they talk hand to mouth. Let me say, as you work the money this week, you take and pay bills. You work the money next week, you take and pay these bills. So by the end of the month, you need to really get much into your account. Then the one see that account don't just grow. It don't grow fat. American, even the banking system will start for scratch their head. Say the money they really enter so now how? So what happen? I say, as this thing that they occur, that they compile evidence, it attract attention, red flags. So when the international secret intelligence services they monitor events on the ground, and then they see changes into people, their lifestyle, and these people they be very vocal on social media. They be very vocal. They be very vicious on social media. Now during those times, Eric Tato they give command. May they cut Ambazonian mami their hand. May they cut students their hand. May they cut women their body. May they cut their legs. When I remember, the international community they follow all these trends. And then the more you talk about those things, the more they see say your bank account they grow very fat. So there is a correlation between your advocacy, that means say you're preaching for violence on innocent people. Then you need to preach violence against Cameroon state. You need to preach violence against innocent civilians where they don't get anything for do with the Cameroon state. Then they say you be financially be rewarded. You need preach, use forces on the ground for commit certain crimes, for do certain kidnappings for ransom, and then they say money they enter your account during those times. It is time for create red flags, red flags, red flags. So in summary, what did it happen for the Ambazonian, for some few Ambazonians, as with the year now 5 of them, 3 members, 4 members, 4 officials of the interim government, the IG group, 4 officials of them, 3 of them when that means they not be for top position. 1 of them will be very top position like Chris Ano. So they monitor these people, their lifestyle. They monitor their how much you be that means they work with the work. How much if you get them for a month. And then the ones you say, oh, $50,000 don't enter. Oh, $25,000 don't enter. Oh, $100,000 don't enter one time. When? You don't think say it go cost an alarm? You come out from living for stay for another person's house. The next year, you don't get any job where if you prove your income. The next year, they want to see them. $100,000 don't enter your account. Oh, you don't go buy house. They go start for monitor all your social media activities. And start for monitor your economic activities. Wait till you do them, it match this income. Who they see them, they come out for foreign countries. And they come out for a conflict zone. It no match. When I pay attention. Oh, $250,000 don't show up for some person in the account. $15,000 don't show up for some person in the account. And during that time, when they monitor flash points for ground zero, they say kidnapping. So kidnapping take place within 2 weeks, and then within those 2 weeks, you don't get $15,000 for your account. There is a correlation. There is a connection. There is a connection. We live for 21st century. We need to live for the dark ages. We're not there for dark ages continent like Cameroon. For country they monitor things. The law enforcement for they don't be trained. They need to just go for personal house anyhow. Okay? They need to go for personal house anyhow. Some team must trigger them. And before the one come for your house, a lot of signals. They don't get a lot of tips, a lot of things where they don't make sense. A lot of things where they be very highly questioning. They be questionable. Things they not add up for your life. Wait till you show them. And wait till you don't do them. It not add up. Something is wrong. So that you always go for, now wait till not be add up. Now wait till be those flash points for this person in life. Now wait till be those red flags for this person in life. And then they start to look for the connecting dots. Now who this person in activity be connected to who? This person in activity be connected to who? Then now they start to monitor the ground. They start to get intelligence services on the ground to America. Because they will now look for international crimes and money laundering. Okay. Reports that they come up about certain things that they happen on the ground. American citizens. So what did it happen? I say the 3 Ambazonians, Americans, where they don't indict them, they don't charge them for including kidnapping for ransom, members of the IG. What did it happen? I say they get these loose forces, as we already warned all Ambazonians about these loose forces. They use these loose forces for commit certain crimes on the ground, target Ambazonians, where they get family relatives from America. Once they target them, then These people then for diaspora, members of the IG, they go be now at the link between waiting those forces, the person with those forces don't pick them on the ground, and then with their relatives for here. Those relatives now they go for contact this person. Oh, you remember if you're a person of the interim government, they don't pick my family member. They don't catch my family member. Then that person will say, look, now the thing is with these people don't ask them. They ask say make una give money for XYZ. How much? Oh, they ask for $5,000. Oh, they ask for $3,000. Who go take that $3,000? Now that stupid person for America, they go take the money, go give them for you. An American citizen, he don't go take the money. They don't arrest a family member for ground zero. An American citizen, he take money, he take the ransom where they ask him, he go pay him for another American citizen of Ambazonian origin for America. When they release that person for ground zero, that crime will be reported to the US government. When I hear me fine. Now the thing this will lead to this arrest. Once the United States Law Enforcement Agency, they receive a lot of these tips. The connection point between the kidnapping on the ground for Ambazonia and the person where they receive the ransom for United States, with the intention for say go send them for a proxy forces on the ground. Now for here the matter come out with members of the IG. IG, it never ever recruit forces, train forces, armed forces. The IG groups, where they didn't have 5 of them. You get the IG of Sese Kwayoktabe Julius. You get the IG of Yerima. Mateuna. Sese Kwayoktabe IG de for Kondengi. Yerima IG. Now Sese could be create, it be give Yerima the IG as a vice president. But those 2 IGs now are 2 different IGs. So Yerima get your own IG. Then you get the IG of Sako. Then you get the IG of Chris Anu. Then you get the IG of Marianata. Now 5 IGs a day. All these IGs, they never ever create a group, an armed group, because for the IG, they not did them for the armed struggle. The IG they like SCNC. We not believe for the armed struggle. But we believe the people they get for defend themselves. We not believe for violence, but we believe the people they get for defend themselves. The IG not believe in armed struggle. They not believe for self-defense. For ye, now for use the forces where they don't rise up on the ground for their own legitimacy and survival as the IG. Say those guys, every person where they fight on the ground, they fight now because then they be the IG. So we understand again. So members of the IG, they take advantage of this loose nature of the fighting on the ground by these loose forces them for create criminal gangs on the ground. And then for use those boys on the ground for do financial transaction for America. Wait till it happen for America. The American government not hate Ambazonia. The American government not be say they don't want make Ambazonia, they don't get independence. Fellow Ambazonians, the United States government, the United States, now one of the only country for this world where they don't always stand for the oppressed and they don't always stand for justice. But I say you must conduct yourself to a certain way for the United States to really stand for your back. You must show a command and control. You must show say what you do and be just, what you do and be right, what you do and be under international law, and then you be person, a man and woman of character, of dignity, and you stand for what you believe in. Americans, they don't like corny people them. Corny people mean say what while people they want rights. But who not believe we for gun them? La Republique the key what people them and then when they don't ask you say La Republique the key people them what you do and for protect your people them. You know we have some boys on the ground that are fighting. They are not really our forces, but they are fighting for independence of Ambazonia. So who are you? Well, we are the interim government. Who is the interim government? We. Who created you? Who voted you? Who constituted you? They not fit justify them, right? So what did happen? I say a lot of these people then they start to take advantage of these loose forces on the ground for commit their criminal activities for the United States. So you don't get anything for do with the Ambazonian struggle. You get everything for do with people the way that they use the Ambazonian struggle as a money-making tool. Eric Tato, he used the Ambazonian struggle for make hundreds of thousands of dollars from La République du Cameroon by fighting against Dr. Ayaba, by getting the Ambazonian people for support a thief man, a con man, and then they take that money and embezzle it. So when you understand the game, so that's why they pay the price. People that they pay their price for their criminality for the country where they live there, they don't get anything for do with the Ambazonian struggle. The indictment of 3 Ambazonians by the United States law enforcement officers, agencies, and the raid will take place for Chris Anui house and Eric Tato house. It not been against Ambazonian struggle. It been everything for stop kidnapping. For stop criminal rings and criminal gang activities within the United States. Now for stop Chris Ano, a criminal activity where they use the United States as a place for commit those crimes. So Eric Tato used the United States and the United States instrument and systems as a place for them for commit financial crimes, for commit kidnapping crimes, so that they send the money from ground zero. That's why we always can't tell when I say he get forces on the ground. The reason why Eric Tato be the toxic get forces on the ground. Now for use them for commit these crimes on the ground and therefore collect money. Now the same thing with Chris Ano, the Red Dragons. They use the name of the Red Dragons and LGA by LGA and county by county. Now it's a money-making scheme for divert money from the forces on the ground to the United States. So when they see the United States law enforcement, that they go after these criminals, we come on inject them for our liberation struggle. Not been about Ambazonia. The United States government, from the Senate report, from the report of the Congress, from which the first ambassador we already talk about, including Nagitibo, when I don't see the United States policy be consistent with the aspirations and the rights of the Ambazonian people then, and for call Cameroon into account. So when I no need for worry, when I no need for shake, but when I need for get the understanding, the American government not be against Ambazonia. American government stand with the Ambazonian people. The American government always stand for the right of the people and for self-determination, for determining their own destiny and their own future. But just like most advanced countries, everything be done based on evidence, not based on a hearsay. American, for this society where they live there, including my own society, they need to do things based on a hearsay. A perfect example, as we talk this thing, I don't can report down to the Ambazonian people twice. I don't can publicly talk for now. Say the military, they had a column, were highest level of security intelligence from my own country, they call them say RCMP. They don't come from my house. They called me for phone. They can't visit me. I tell you now. And I tell you now why they can't visit me. As she done down, I explained for them why I the advocate for the Ambazonian people their rights. Why I the advocate for the Ambazonian people their right for bear arms. And they asked me all kind of questions. They check my background. They don't see anything. I even take documents from my own country where they did. With my own government. It don't talk saying that the thing this way they happen. It talks say how many thousand people don't kill. And I tell them for the village when me accommodate Kajifu, the Cameroon colonial government, it send an order, make all man include from Kajifu to other 16 villages. Make all man commode for December 7. I think December 7, if not, I'm not be mistaken, for 2018. Make all man commode and make no man come back, because any person will come back, they go treat him as a terrorist. I move all those documents, I show these people them. But when they look my background, I don't get anything of criminality. If I get anything of criminality, will they connect the dots between the incident on the ground and my lifestyle for here? As I talk software, I did for hotel, I did work for a far away province. I don't be out for the last 4 months. I don't be out for 4 different provinces for 4 months. They work for different projects. I did make my lifestyle now through hard work for take care of myself, for take care of my family, and for support my own communities. And people there, they suffer. So when they check my background, it's just saying I'm a hardworking person. I need to take me money for any person. Any Ambazonian will donate the money for egg of sea to the liberation. They always get a receipt. And that money they go for egg of sea. It need to come for me. I need to keep egg of sea their money. Dr. Abba, never need to keep egg of sea their money. It need even no play the money to go. Egg of sea get a treasury, a central treasury. When I manage egg of sea their money. Dr. Abba get a full-time job. The reason why Norway they support the egg of sea and stand for Ambazonian people their back, now because when they look the man a record clean. They see a hard-working man with this sacrifice everything we get out for the people them. They see say intention, it be very pure, it be very clean. When you look all the people them, where they had a clean. That's why we don't always advise people them. No go enter for something where, no go join some fake group where they call themselves say the IG. They never ever constitute themselves as a liberation movement. They just talk say they be the IG. Then they go finally end up. Now my colleague them, they don't come. I did for hotel, my colleague them, they don't come out, they don't come. So I get for end this podcast very soon. The one can tell us we'll go for time nourish, we'll go for go chop. I did with a team, we'll go for work, and so they're hungry. Anyway, make a round up this thing. I want to round up this discussion. When I no need for shake. We're there for a very good place. For any country where they stay there, for developing countries that get laws, to be very structured. Those countries that they follow their intelligence, they need to pick any human being for no reason. Before they want to pick you up, before they want to come for your house, for even can knock your door, they want to talk for you. They come with respect, can ask you questions, for verify things. When things they do with the big, what they get for incriminate you, they will incriminate you. Una stand up, una leave all fake group them. The IG in a fake group. Now hear me fine. The IG in a fake group. There is no place where they go there, they stand for their food, they say they be the IG. Because they don't get any form, and nothing the way it give them the legitimacy and the authority for be the IG where it could be respected. There is nothing. A fake group. That's why they use only proxies. If they IG in a real group, I challenge Ayoktabe, make it recruit forces, train forces, and deploy forces. I challenge Yerima, make it create forces, deploy forces, and arm forces. I challenge Sako, make Sako create forces where they call and say IG forces. Arm those forces, deploy forces. Make Chris Anu train forces. Recruit forces, train forces, arm forces, and deploy forces. Make them be under that direct command and control. Ayoktabe Julius, Yerima, Sako, Chris Anu, Marianata, all them they use now proxy group for claim legitimacy. They fear involvement. They fear direct involvement for self-defense. Because they don't get anything. If you give them the kind power for stand up as people, they stand for self-defense. That's why when they see all those proxies, they gang up for try to fight against the AGOFC. We invoke the Ambazonian people their right for self-defense and they be respected. As you don't hear them from the World Bank report, from the Oxford University report, the Ambazonian Governing Council are the most structured, the most nationalist, the most uncompromising movement. The World Bank report, it talks about the IG, now the most corrupt group within the Ambazonian Governing Council. The Oxford report, it talks about the IG, now the most corrupt group. It be filled with corruption and embezzlement. And even talks about they don't give a bad name to the Ambazonian people them internationally. That's why now for them for survive, they go for recruit proxies. Use proxies. So what did it happen? Over the last few years, they don't talk say people that like Jumasang, Martin, the Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall. When they hear, oh, AGOFC and ADF, they do kidnapping for ransom. ADF, they do kidnapping for ransom. So why ADF, they do kidnapping for ransom? But IG members, they don't be indicted. So the same people that be the shout every day, say ADF, they only exist for do kidnapping for ransom. That the same people, they don't be indicted for the United States for being in the business of kidnapping and collecting ransom in the United States through actions on the ground. All right. So make I finish this story because I know say my colleague did the way they vex. Say if you're hungry, I beg finish this story. I finish this story. So 2 days ago, some Ambazonian way talks in a medical doctor for the state of Oyo for Nigeria. He sent me a message for Facebook. He talks say, when I be ballock people them. Now when I don't cause so much pain and suffering for the people of Northwest and Southwest. Now an Ambazonian, he has according to he be an Anglophone. And so I tell you, say, I actually say, you be medical doctor, right? He say, yes. I tell you, say, okay. If person come for you, he get cancer, you go prescribe in holy water. He say, no. I tell you, say, most likely, when I go do a proper diagnosis, when I go put this cancer patient under the various ways for find out the level of cancer, the type of cancer, and the severity of the cancer. Before when I start any treatment, right? It's a yes. But I say, you when I not go prescribe that cancer patient holy water, right? It's a yes. We not go prescribe you holy water. I say, so holy water now a wrong solution to a severe problem, right? It's a yes. I say, so, but you be a scientist and you must do things according to scientific method. You be a medical doctor and you must do things according to medical methods in order for you for cure your patient and for treat your patients, right? It's a yes. I say, for most of now, since 1961, Ambazonians suffer from the cancer of Cameroon occupation. On a prescription, the medicine when I don't prescribe them for the Ambazonian people there, the holy water. I tell you, say, what doctor I don't do them for the Ambazonian people there. He come in as a scientist, as a pragmatist, for offer the right solution and offer the right prescription for the cancer of the occupation. Self-defense, guns and bullets, that the language, that the Bible of liberation and freedom. A patient where they don't diagnose it, say you get cancer, they put it through some form of a therapy. They need to give holy water. Una abandon the IG. Holy water. That the medicine with the IG, they tell the Ambazonian people say they need them. When Cameroon launched the war against Ambazonia, They tell our people, may they go on the streets with peace plans. I want to see the consequences. Peace plants na holy water.